Today's lesson is 7-7A. The first part of this lesson is going to focus on translations, and all of these lessons in the 7-7 section are going to be about transformations of some sort on a coordinate plane. So today's lesson focuses specifically, though, on translations on a coordinate plane. Translations, which is just moving them left, right, up, or down. So a transformation is going to be a change in a figure's position, or it could be size, which is not going to be dealt with in 7-7. We'll actually get to it in our next section, though. But we're going to be changing a figure's position. So translations are what we're going to be studying today. These right here. And then we're also going to be taking a look at rotations and reflections in our next few lessons, but today we're just going to be looking at translations in specific. For all of these, though, the resulting figure that you're going to see is going to be called an image. And we usually would do it like, say you have a figure A, your image is going to be, like, your image is A prime. But the image of a translation, rotation, or reflection is always going to be congruent to the original figure, meaning that it has the same ratio, sometimes, most of the time, the exact same measurements. A translation, though, the one we're doing today, slides a figure along a line without turning it. So it's not going to turn, it's just going to slide up, down, left, or right. So we have some rules that we're going to be working with today, and I feel like these rules are a little bit tricky, but we'll work with them enough that you'll start to kind of get used to them. If you want to move a figure to the right, and it says A units, like that would be like the number of units, say your number was 1, then you would add that number, which would be 1, to each x coordinate. So if your original coordinate was x comma y, you would do x plus your number comma y. And then you can see to move left, you would subtract it from your x. And then to move up or down, you would add or subtract from your y coordinate. So I want you guys to start seeing how this works with some examples. So example number 1, give the coordinates of triangle ABC after a translation 2 units right and 3 units down. So the first part that we're going to look at is this 2 units right. So because we're going right, we're going to want to add 2 to each one of our x coordinates. To move right, we add. So our x coordinates, we're going to add 2. So if we do that for like A, to get to A prime, we're going to do -3 plus 2, which is still going to leave us at -1. For B, to go to B prime, we're going to be at 0 plus 2, so that's just +2. And then for C prime, we go -2 plus 2, which is going to put us back at 0 for our x coordinates. And then if you look over here at the y side, they want us to move down. So down is negative, minus. And we're always going to be changing our y-axis, or our y coordinates. Well, I can't write. So for our y coordinates, we want to subtract 3 from all of these. So we get 4 minus 3, which is 1. 2 minus 3, which is -1, and 1 minus 3, which is -2. So now we can check these to see if they match up, and if this wasn't already graphed, you would be able to graph it now. But you would go to -1, so walk to -1, and then go up to 1, which is at coordinate A prime, which is what they've got there. And then we're going to go to 2 comma -1. So I'm going to go walk to 2 and then go down 1, which is going to put me right here at B prime. And then finally C prime is going to be located at 0 comma -2. So don't go anywhere, just go down 2 and you should find your point C, which is also correct. So that is how we would find those coordinates, is by using whatever rule is up here. And you kind of get used to it the more that you use it. So let's try another one. We've got a quadrilateral ABCD, and we're going to translate it 3 units down. So right here we have 3 units down. This is going to be a -3 in our y's. So for our y's, we need to minus 3. And then it also says 5 units to the left. So for the left, we also want to minus our number, but then we're going to do it on our x because this is a right or left. So for these, we're going to do a minus 5. And now we would simply need to simplify our coordinates. So 1 minus 5 is going to give us negative 4. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. 4 minus 5 is negative 1, and 1 minus 5 is negative 4. And now we can simplify our y's. 4 minus 3 is positive 1. 3 minus 3 is 0. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. And negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So then you can come over and check your coordinates. So we've got negative 4, walk to negative 4, go to positive 1. And this is actually graphed wrong, so yay, I get to fix it. And then we're going to go to negative 1, comma 0 and put a dot. Next is negative 1, negative 4, put a dot. And finally we have negative 4, negative 5, put a dot. And then we can connect those. So ignore that, oops, it should be back here, negative 4. Ignore that red one because that red one's completely incorrect. And there is my translation of 3 units down and 5 units left. Okay, number 3 is a we do. Give the coordinates of triangle ABC after translation 4 units to the right. So for the right, we're going to do plus, and this is going to be on our x value. And 2 units down is going to be minus 2 on our y value. So for A, our point is, let's see, we go to negative 3, positive 4. Let me change colors here. Our B is at 0, comma 2. And then, oops, our C is located, wow, at negative 2, positive 1. So to find our new coordinates, we want to actually add or subtract to them, just like what it says up above. So to go 4 units right, we would add 4 to each x coordinate. And to go down 2, you would subtract 2 from each y coordinate. And then basically it's like an addition / subtraction problem. So to get A prime, you have negative 3 plus 4, which gets us to positive 1, and 4 minus 2 is just 2. So over on my graph, I'm going to go to 1, comma 2. So over 1, comma 2, make a dot. Next, I'll do my B. So for B prime, I'm going to be at 0 plus 4, which is positive 4, and 2 minus 2, which is 0 for my y. So over 4, comma 0, and that's my B prime. And finally, my C prime is going to be at negative 2 plus 4, which is positive 2. And then 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So I'm going to go to 2, comma negative 1. And now I can connect my dots for my prime. And it's not the best, but that's my translation. Okay, number 4 is a you do, and I will get you started a little bit. You're just going to be doing one coordinate for this one. So for 1, comma, -4, gosh, I can't even talk, 1, +4. And you want to do a translation of 3 units up. So this is going to be a +3, and up and down is on your y-axis. So you would just put a +3 on your y-axis and then give me your new coordinate.